tell you how proud we are to have the second flagship address in the Sandra G. Powell Recital Hall. I've already told your staff it's an open invitation, as long as it's on Thursday, early in September. We're good. Otherwise, if we have one faculty member I really want to thank, he's doing his class online so we can do this in here, and he understands. He gets it, the bigger picture of community and being able to be together. So it is my pleasure to welcome you to the College of Music and this Natalie Haslam Music Center that is second to none, and to introduce my new boss, I guess. Isn't that the way to put it? Yeah. The Provost and Senior Vice Chancellor, John Zomchik.
Thank you, Dean Pappas. It's great to be here this morning, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm honored to introduce this flagship address. Good morning to you all, friends, colleagues, students, and university guests. On behalf of the Chancellor's leadership team, welcome to this wonderful facility, the Natalie L. Haslam Music Center, for the 5th annual flagship address. I want to extend an especially warm welcome to some special guests. Our Mayor, India Kincannon, our elected rep. Yes, please, let's acknowledge her and congratulate her on her reelection. Our representatives, Sam McKenzie, Michelle Carringer, and Elaine Davis. I also want to thank our alumni and friends who are here this morning for their support, including members of the Chancellor's Associates and representatives of industry and our community partners. Welcome to you all as well. Let's give them a hand, please. And finally, we would be remiss if we did not recognize Mr. Jim Haslam, a former vice chair of our Board of Trustees, and his wife, Natalie, who are here with us this morning, and to whose generosity we owe this building, but so much more here on our campus, including the Haslam College of Business, and not only on this campus, but across Knoxville and Knox County. Wherever you look, you can see the philanthropy, the generosity, the community spirit of Mr. and Mrs. Haslam and the entire Haslam family. So it's totally appropriate to join me to thank them for their decades-long support of higher education and making Knoxville the greatest city in the United States. Mr. and Mrs. Haslam, thank you. Chancellor Plowman gave the first flagship address in 2019, and since then, it has become a tradition every fall to gather as a community to reflect on our accomplishments and look ahead to the future. We need not reflect long to realize how great those accomplishments have been, and especially how bright that future is. Under Chancellor Plowman's leadership and the important work of everyone in this room and volunteers everywhere, we emerged from a devastating pandemic, prepared to make life and lives better for all Tennesseans and for those beyond our state's borders. Thank you, Chancellor Plowman, for your visionary leadership, and thank you, volunteers here and volunteers everywhere, for all that you give for Tennessee every day. Following the Chancellor's address this morning, we ask that you join us for a reception featuring foods from across Tennessee. There will be individuals outside the recital hall to direct you. I look forward to celebrating with you together. Now, it is my pleasure and honor to introduce our Chancellor, Donde Plowman. Please welcome her.
Thank you, John, for that generous introduction. And thank you to our student performers who I guess had to go to class. I hope that's where they are. Unbelievable gifts and talents that they shared with us today. It's hard to believe that this is the 5th flagship address. When we considered launching this, an annual speech, back in 2019, I had this idea that we would come together every fall to share our aspirations and our progress, consider our successes as well as our challenges. I am so grateful to be here today in this beautiful concert hall with all of you celebrating the university that we all love. You know, when I share with others what makes Rocky Top special, I often tell stories. I tell your stories. Everyone I talk to is interested in the students we're educating, the research that we're doing, the partnerships we're building, and yes, the games that we're winning. That was for you, Danny. One of the great joys of my job is watching the pride light up their faces. So today, as we talk about what our work means to us and to the people we serve, I'm going to tell you some stories. 2 weeks ago, I was in a school library in Nashville, sitting around a table with 20 high school seniors, all interested in going to college, but none of whom had yet applied. We were at one of our flagship schools where, as you know, students who graduate and are admitted to UT receive a full tuition scholarship. These students were bright and attentive. They listened carefully, many taking notes. Finally, one young man who'd been quiet most of the morning raised his hand and he said, "The flagship scholarship is great, but how much is room and board? Are there scholarships for that?" His questions were earnest. He wanted help figuring out how he could be a Tennessee volunteer. In that moment, I was reminded again of the importance of what we do. From the advancement officers who raise money for scholarships, to the academic advisors, from faculty to facilities workers, and everyone in between, each of you makes a difference. When you're in the work every day like we all are, it can be hard to see the strides that we're making and the impact that you are having. So let's take a step back and just recognize where we've been. Since the inaugural flagship address in 2019, we have grown our undergraduate enrollment by 20%. Our graduate enrollment has also grown by 20%, including a 10% increase this year over last year, right now. We have increased our instructional spending by 40%. We hit 91% in retention. We've improved our 4-year graduation rate by 8 points. Twice been named a Forbes Best Employer. Been named a top producer of Fulbright Scholars every single year. Had faculty that are become members named to the National Academies and the Royal Society. We have set records with a number of alumni, supporters, and friends contributing to our university. Last year, hitting a record $264 million. We've grown our national visibility with tens of millions of viewers tuning in to watch Tennessee sporting events just last year. We launched a popular podcast with former governors Phil Bredesen and Bill Haslam, who exemplify civil discourse. We doubled our research and sponsored projects, hitting $428 million this year, fueled in part by huge increases at the UT Institute for Ag. We partnered to launch the UT Oak Ridge Innovation Institute, historic, and we have deepened our innovation-driven relationships not only with ORNL, but also between the Tickle College of Engineering and partners like Volkswagen, AT&T, Eastman, Nissan, TVA, and more. We have strengthened our partnerships with local government, working side by side with the city of Knoxville on large projects like a pedestrian bridge across Lake Loudon. And we have established 3 new colleges, all focused on innovation and workforce skills that our students and our state need. A year ago, I told you we were a university on the rise. That list I just shared with you is proof of our momentum. 5 years ago, when I was a candidate for this job, I had dinner with a small group of important decision makers. I can still remember them saying, "We love UT. It's a good university. We want it to be a great university." When I think back on that conversation, it reminds me of a popular management book I read 2 decades ago called Good to Great. The first 6 words of that book are as follows: good is the enemy of great. I'm going to say that one more time. Good is the enemy of great. To be great, you must refuse being just good enough. The University of Tennessee refuses good enough. We choose great. And that matters. It matters for our students we teach, for the communities we serve, and this state that we call home. Because a state that has a great university, particularly a great public flagship land-grant university, has opportunities that wouldn't exist otherwise. And when that great university is the University of Tennessee, it also has, you know what I'm going to say, the volunteer spirit. A passion for service and commitment that drives not only what we do, but how we do it. In June, the director of the National Science Foundation visited this campus for the kickoff of Team Tennessee. We are leading a coalition of more than 100 organizations across the state, including industry partners and every technical school, community college, and university. Team Tennessee is focused on making our state a global leader in the $2 trillion transportation industry, and we are a finalist for a very large NSF grant to be able to do that. This was a big moment for us to showcase our research strengths and our faculty and our leadership to the director of the National Science Foundation. While he was here, the director said, "What we're doing in Tennessee is a model for how to build the innovation capacity we need across the country." This is possible because the strengths of our university are aligned with the resources of our state and the needs of our country. What a powerful recipe for creating opportunity, one that leverages both who we are and what we're great at. This is the blueprint for a new kind of land-grant university, one that partners, leads, shares, and strives for impact. Earlier this year, Provost John Zomchik went before the Board of Trustees to ask their approval for our first major academic restructuring in half a century. I know that sounds bureaucratic, academic restructuring. But if you've seen our provost speak before, and you have because he was just up here, you know he has a unique ability to command an audience. That day in front of the Board of Trustees, he captured that entire room as he began to share not just the story of how we decided to launch 3 new academic units, but the story of how these units support our heritage as Tennesseans and the future of our state. The College of Music, the College of Emerging and Collaborative Studies, and the Baker School of Public Policy and Public Affairs all launched this past July. Our new College of Music will continue to produce performing musicians like we just saw, and music educators, while also expanding to graduate the professionals who will fill the jobs that propel our state's industry in music. Tennessee has also produced great leaders, policymakers, and public servants, none more beloved than Howard H. Baker Jr. Senator Baker understood the importance of sincere public service, civil debate, and meaningful policy. These are the values that undergird our new Institute of American Civics, housed in the Baker School. Finally, leaning into our history as a destination for discovery and innovation, the College of Emerging and Collaborative Studies will be an incubator for big ideas, launch new programs in emerging fields, and forge connections across the campus and into the community. We now have 14 degree-granting colleges. Your job just got bigger, John. And every single one of those colleges is committed to progress and innovation. The College of Architecture and Design is looking to expand its downtown footprint. The College of Law's innovative programs have been recognized with their recent ranking of number 24 public law school in the country. The College of Communication and Information is doubling down on experiential learning by bringing the Daily Beacon, WUOT, and the Speech and Debate team into the college. The College of Social Work, the College of Nursing, the College of Education, Health and Human Sciences have forged an innovative partnership with Cherokee Health Systems. The College of Arts and Sciences has appointed 3 new divisional deans to elevate the work of the social sciences, the natural sciences and math, the humanities, and the arts. The Haslam College of Business is launching an online master's in cybersecurity, training workers we desperately need to fill a growing industry need. Last year, I told you we had an opportunity to reach nearly 1 million Tennesseans who have some college credit but no college degree. We have assembled a team that is hard at work to build the online learning infrastructure that will allow us to reach learners where they are, removing barriers and creating new opportunities. This will be a game changer, not just for the students who enroll in our programs, but for their families, their employers, their communities, and the state. Last week, I met with our External Advisory Council. It's a collection of brilliant leaders in innovation and technology from around the country who advise our research division. I shared with them some of the same bragging points that I just shared with you. They were excited by our trajectory, but they said to me and Deb Crawford, stay hungry, don't become satisfied. As we think about our future, it could be tempting to say, this is difficult and we're okay with good enough. I'm asking us instead to say, this is difficult and we choose great. The decisions of the past are paying off today, and the decisions we make today will pay off in the future. 5 years ago, we invested $6 million to hire a quantum science faculty cluster. Today, every faculty member in that cluster is part of a new prestigious $18 million NSF grant. Almost 4 years ago, we stood up a new division for student success. Today, thanks to faculty and staff across the campus, our students are persisting at rates we have absolutely never seen before. Just a few weeks ago, we celebrated a new partnership between the College of Nursing and the UT Medical Center. With a new state-of-the-art facility at Cherokee Farm, we will graduate 100 more nurses every year who will work at the medical center and help alleviate our local nursing shortage. 2 weeks ago, in that high school library in Nashville, I told those future volunteers that there is a place for each one of them here. I told them that the University of Tennessee is special. It's what I tell everyone. At baseball games and volleyball matches, I tell our fans that our momentum in athletics is matched by our momentum in academics. At meetings with industry and community partners, I tell them about our expertise, our commitment to collaboration that solves real problems. At Move-In, I talk to parents about our unique student experience and the support provided by our outstanding student life team. And at meetings with other university chancellors, I tell them how we're redefining the modern public land-grant university. We have an incredible story, and it's time to tell it boldly. That's why I'm asking you to become a storyteller too. Every person on this campus should take credit for our momentum, every single one. the list of accomplishments I shared, and so many more, those successes belong to all of us. So, when you're at a neighborhood block party, or you're at your kids' soccer games, when you're at conferences or community events, tell people about what you are helping achieve at our university. Tell them about our important research, our bright students, our talented faculty, our dedicated staff, our strong partnerships, and our growing momentum. Tell them that we have chosen great. Tell them that the University of Tennessee is on the rise. Thank you.